So you get a prototype, you get an MVP, and you get the full-fledged product. Can you run us through those stages that you'd have to go through? What's an MVP, and what's a prototype, and what's a full-fledged product, and how do you guys go about distinguishing this product for founders?
Yes. So a prototype is typically a set of wireframes that have been designed. And if anybody doesn't know what a wireframe is, it's basically like a skeleton design of a screen. So it could be like a web application, a mobile app, or some sort of software application. So think about all the screens have been designed in very like rudimentary format, like not much graphics and maybe a little bit of color or maybe even black and white. And essentially these are kind of mapped together, right, to illustrate the different user journeys of the product. So the user, typically the founder, can click through the different screens and mimic what a user would experience, but without any functionality. So for example, there's a sign up process and the user has to complete a form or maybe a bunch of steps in the sign up process. Once they've completed it, there's a success message. Then maybe they need to validate their email from a link that's sent to the email account. So there'll be like a validation screen. So it basically will like highlight those steps in a very quick and easy to understand and visual format. I think that's key, is like people, learn and understand visually much easier, but it helps them to basically play around with different user journeys. But just to reiterate, there's no functionality that's been developed at all in this stage. So like when you're signing up, there's nothing that's getting saved or anything like that. So that's a prototype. And then an MVP, and I know we'll talk a lot about MVPs, basically consists of, building, again, whatever it is, like a web app or mobile app or website, whatever the client needs. And it's basically the most leanest and minimal set of features and functionality to launch with. So, that users can basically test whether their idea or concept has got traction. So it shouldn't include nice to have features or features that aren't necessarily needed for launch, hence the name minimum viable product. And then a fully fledged product is basically, as the name suggests, is a very comprehensive version of the product that includes, many advanced features, many functionalities, and, probably integrations with third-party platforms, reporting systems, dashboards, automation. So many of the features that are included in this version of the product, the fully fledged product, have been validated